Ramallah and talk to Dr. Husam Zomlot, who's a senior official with the Palestinian Fatah organisation. Good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
Let's deal with those truce talks in Cairo. How close do you believe we are to some sort of ceasefire being resumed here?
I wish we were close. We have sent a united delegation a week ago, actually, to Cairo, a delegation that was formed by President Mahmoud Abbas, the president of the Palestinian state, and a delegation that consists of all the Palestinian political factions, including Fatah and Hamas and Islamic Jihad. So it's a show of unity with a united position and united demands, and all these demands are very just, legal and legitimate. Demands to end the aggression that you have just reported about, an aggression that have seen the lives of more than 1,900 Palestinians being killed, mostly civilians, as you know, children, women, an attack that has seen more than 10,000 Palestinians killed and 400,000 displaced, 35,000 homes wiped out. And to tell you the truth, this is unbearable. By Ramallah standard here, 30,000 or 35,000 homes means wiping out the entire Ramallah, and the Gaza city is an ancient city.
Let me point out to you that, of course, there are two elements to this, and of course, as you will be well aware, Israel are stressing they will not negotiate under fire, a reference to the fact that as soon as the three-day truce ended, there were rockets fired out of Gaza.
There was no fire whatsoever when the Israeli delegation arrived to Cairo yesterday. There was a full truce, ceasefire, and the Israeli delegation came with the famous no for ending the siege. The siege, to start with, is very illegal. No to our request to link the West Bank to Gaza. No to the very fair quest to build our own airport and seaport, which has nothing to do with Israel to start with. And they just informed the Egyptians, the mediators, and they left after a few hours under the pretext that the Shabbat is arriving. And still the Shabbat is not preventing the Israeli murder machine to kill what you have reported, 2 in Gaza and 1 in Ramallah just an hour ago. You know, this confirms the Israeli negotiation doctrine for all these years. First, they never negotiate the real issues. They don't want to negotiate their occupation and colonization and siege. Second, they just want to give and provide whatever that is reversible.
Well, deal with the point about rocket fire, though, because they would come, if they were on here now, they would say to you, if the rocket fire stops out of Gaza, then we will start to contemplate some of the other issues that are clearly very, very important to both sides. But they are not prepared to do that until the rocket fire ceases.
I think they are lying, and I think they are buying time, and I think they are going back to their very old trick before Gaza had rockets or tunnels, and before even Hamas existed. We have been negotiating with Israel for all these years, and all what Israel does is use negotiations as a diktat. It's not negotiations, really, and as a tool to buy time and cover for the real project. I believe, my friend, what Israel is doing is a coup d'etat against our unity government that was formed only a few days before their onslaught that started here in the West Bank. It's also a liquidation of our cause by linking what is happening as if it's not a fight for a nation, for their freedom and liberty and dignity since 70 years, linking it to some regional fight against jihadism, and linking Israeli aggression against our babies, against our women, against our society, our electricity, our humanity, as if it's part of the war against terrorism, the global war against terrorism.
I take the point you're making, but the point I would put back to you, and I would put it equally to an Israeli spokesman if there were one here to talk to, is that at some point in this dispute, both sides are going to have to give quite a lot. They're going to have to stomach things they really don't want to contemplate. And I don't sense from anything you've said in the last 2 or 3 minutes that you are yet in that position. What are you prepared to give when the time comes?
I disagree very much with you, sir, and this is exactly the misperception that is being portrayed via some of these international media outlets. We have given up everything. We have given up 78% of our land. We have recognized Israel as a state fully on the 1967 borders in accordance with international resolutions that Britain has voted for. We have invited Israel to create the two-state solution that has international consensus, and we invited Israel to negotiations to end their occupation. And ever since then, Israel has never recognized recognized its occupation, never recognized us as a nation, and they always consider our land to be disputed, up for a grab. In the last 20 years, during the process, they have tripled their settlements and their colonization of our land. They have besieged Gaza, they have Judaized. So no, we have given prepayment to Israel. The question that should be asked, does Israel recognize its occupation here, that you do in Britain and in the world, that this is a military occupation? No, it doesn't. So the question actually to us Palestinians, should we continue recognizing Israel on 78% of our land? Should we continue calling for the two-state solution when Israel has exceeded all levels and all calls and has bulldozed the two-state solution? This is the question. What should we do? That's the question.
Forgive me, but time has beaten us, but we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on, Dr. Husam Zomlot there in Ramallah.